name is Lisette Rodriguez. I'm the Sand Hills Regional Organizer for Common Cause North Carolina. We're a nonpartisan voting rights organization focused on holding power accountable. If you'd like to learn more about us, there's some cards in your seat, and I'll pass it to my partner organizations to introduce themselves as well.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Tori. I work with red wine and blue. The name confuses a lot of people. I don't have wine tonight, but we're all about making politics relaxing and accessible to everybody. So we like to say we're the easy on-ramp to learning about your commissioners, your city councilors, all of that. And we do that through community organizing. We believe that nobody knows people. I don't know Angela's people, and Angela doesn't know my people. So Angela needs to talk to her people about voting, and I need to talk to my people about voting. And we do that over a glass of wine. So if you want to know more information, you can sign up, and I'm so happy you all are here tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I am here representing Fayetteville Freedom for All, which was founded by Lisette. We are a grassroots organization, and we focus on local issues only. So, we know there's a lot going on nationally, but we make sure that we focus on the things that will affect us day to day. We also have mutual aid free markets that we do in the community, and we just like to inform those of you how to get involved. Some of the issues that you see happening in our community, 9 times out of 10 we're addressing them, and we bring people together so that we can strengthen one another to have our voices heard. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to our partner organizations. Give it up for them. Great. And I also just want to state before we get started, are there any elected officials in the House or folks that are running for office? I know I've met some of y'all. If you could just stand up so the audience can see you.
Running for office?
Yes, running for office or your elected official.
Ron Ross.
Even if you're not
Thank you. So, yes, we have Ron Ross. He's running for commissioner. He does not have a primary, but we wanted to invite him anyway. We have Mr. Greg West, Sandfield, no primary, but we wanted to invite him as well. We have Ms. Sheila Cuffey, who's running for commissioner in District 1. We have Mr. Marshall Fairclough in District, At large, there we go. Okay. And I'm so sorry, sir, I'm not familiar with your name, but...
My name is Josh Ballard. I'm with Cumberland County Soil and Water.
One more time?
Josh Ballard, Soil and Water.
Soil and Water, thank you. Who am I missing? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Andrew Brewington, the Register of Deeds.
Andrea Brewington. Andrea Brewington.
Yes.
Register of Deeds, thank you. And we have Mr. Gary Murray for District...
Gary Mo Murray.
Gary Mo Murray for District 1 for County Commissioner. Is there anybody else I'm missing? Larry Wright? Yes, Mr. Larry Wright, who's, that's District 1. Sorry, there's a lot of candidates running, and this is all in my head. So thank you so much for coming. And also just want to note that this is a nonpartisan space. We invited candidates from all across the political spectrum. And I also want to give a disclaimer before we got started, because we've heard some rumors that some candidates did not get invitations to our forum, and I did want to address that because we did send out 3 email invitations to candidates, one on January 20th, one on February 2nd, and then one on February 12th. And I also called folks who did provide their phone number to the Board of Elections. So I did want to just get that off my chest. We wanted everybody to participate in this forum. And I also wanted to let y'all know there's a couple of candidates that weren't able to make it tonight, so I do also want to mention them as well. We had Dr. Tony Stewart. She originally RSVP'd yes, but she did unfortunately have a death in the family earlier this week. She's running for at-large and county commissioner, so you can look her up if you want to learn more. Mr. Charles Evans, also running for at-large. He originally RSVP'd yes, but let us know today that his niece is ill, so he would not be able to make it. We had Mr. William Wesley for District 1. originally RSVP'd yes, but right before we came here, he emailed us and said he had a conflict. And then Mr. Glenn Adams and Ms. Terry Thomas also had conflicts tonight as well. So if you're interested in learning more about those candidates, you can look them up. And we do have a map over here of our Cumberland County commissioners' districts. And there's a QR code there to our North Carolina voter guide. It's a nonpartisan voter guide we put together at Common Cause North Carolina. It's a really handy tool. You can learn about all the folks on your race, what they actually do in those positions and who's running for those positions. So if you're wanting to learn more about that, you can check out that board over there. So now that all that's out of the way, I'll introduce our moderator, Dr. Rob Tabor, a professor at FSU, but today he is here as Dr. Rob Tabor. So I will throw it to him and also invite our District 1 candidates up to begin our forum. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone. Everyone can hear me okay? This microphone's working? Okay. Just so you're aware of how this is going to go tonight, each candidate will be able to give a 2-minute opening statement, after which I will ask the same question of each candidate, but we'll rotate which candidate answers first. Each candidate has the option of doing when they're answering the questions, their responses will also be for 2 minutes. And Ms. Crystal's there on the front row holding up signs. I will also have a timer to keep track. The timing starts when the question ends. And then each candidate also has the option to do up to 3 rebuttals of 1 minute each. They should just signal me if they want to use one of their rebuttals so that we can keep going through the questions. And we will wrap up the District 1 portion by about 7:20, 7:25, so we can move to the at-large portion. And so with this, let us begin. All the candidates are ready. So we'll start with our opening statements. And yes, go ahead. Actually, we'll start with Ms. Cuffey. Go ahead with your opening statement, and then we'll do Mr. Murray and then Mr. Wright.
I'm going to stand for this so everyone can see who I am. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am Sheila Cuffey, born and raised here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Been away with my military husband, who served 37.5 years in the military. I'm a proud military spouse. I love our community, and we came back because we wanted to set roots here and to serve here. And so I've been serving here for the past 13 years that I've been here. I am running because I care about each of you. My community service is based on servant leadership. I have been involved with the mental health through Cumberland County Communicare. I've been with the arts in the Arts Council. I am currently on the community engagement for the Methodist University Medical School. I'm everywhere because I love each of you. And I want to make sure that each of you has an opportunity to thrive. And that, when I say each of you, I mean your families, young people, bringing industry here so that we can continue to build things up. But you'll learn more about me as we go along. And I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
Thank you. Mr. Wright. It's Mr. Murray's turn next.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me say I just found out about this forum about maybe 3 hours ago. But I did want to be here to meet you and let you know who I am. First of all, I've been here in the Cumberland County area for all of my life. I'm a local pastor. We used to pastor in Spring Lake rather than Ball Church, about an hour away. I'm here running tonight because not to be a politician, but to be a voice for our community. I think there's some things when it comes to serving our community that we need to keep as a priority. Number one, that is the people. We need to listen more to what people desire, what they want, and not just make decisions, just as a commission. Also, it is my belief that, before making major decisions, we should consult with the people, give the people, before making big decisions about our community, the people should have an input when it comes to that. Also, I don't believe that we should be careful about waste. I think we've experienced some waste in our community, and that costs the taxpayers. When we do things that don't work, it comes out of our pockets, not anywhere else. So we got to keep those things in mind. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight again. I just found out about this, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murray.
Hello, everyone. My name is Larry Wright, and I am running for County Commissioner, District 1, to be your servant in that district. I've been here in Fayetteville, Cumberland County since 1976. Got here as a private, loved the area. It looks much different now than it did in '76. We've come a long way. I'm a retired military veteran with over 20 years of service. I'm also a pastor in the community, very vested, built a church downtown Fayetteville off of Campbell Avenue in the center of the city. I've also served as city council here in the city of Fayetteville for 4 consecutive terms, and we got a lot accomplished since 2013. I'm a husband, been married for 45 years, got 2 sons, 6 grandchildren, and 3 great-grands. And I'm running because I want a greater future for them. And I'm running for your children, for our future, for a better and brighter and prosperous Cumberland County. I'll be ready on day 1 because of my experience on the city council. I sat on many boards. I sat on continuum of care. I sat on many boards to do what we needed to do to build the ball stadium downtown, to put pools out in my district, $8 million elderly center there in District 7, put a new bridge there in Hollywood Heights, $300 million. So we know what we need to do, and we're eager to do those things in Cumberland County. Vote for me, Larry Wright, to be your next county commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. This first question, and this will be starting with Mr. Murray, that will go down the road. The first question is about your priorities. County commissioners have to juggle several different demands and constituencies. If you're elected, what is one specific project or policy area that would be your priority and why? Mr. Murray.
One of the things that's dear to my heart, and it's been for many, many years, maybe I should stand up, is take care of our seniors and reducing their tax burden. One of the things that has bothered me for a long time is you have seniors in our community that say they paid for a house for 35, 40 years. Then they become a senior on a fixed income, their income drops, but they're still getting tax bills. I met a young lady, well, I say young, she's certainly not young, she's 102 years old. At the end of last year, 102 years old, I was there paying my taxes. I met her paying her taxes at 102 years old. She told me she lived by herself, and she doesn't allow anybody to do anything for her. She's in great health. I put the video out there. I invite you guys to look me up on Facebook. You'll see that this video went viral. After about 7 or 8 days, I think it had about 1.9 million views. Because this lady was still paying taxes at 102 years old. So this is something I think we need to do something about. We need to care about our seniors. We should not be getting tax bills every year. What about a tax reduction? I mean, why do we get bills, tax increases every single year? We've got to be, I think that we should be more accountable in our spending. And again, I think we should listen to the constituents in our community. They're the ones who's footing the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright.
Can you ask the question?
Yes. If you're elected, what is one specific project or policy area that would be your priority and why?
That area would be the Tier 1 status of our county. And the Tier 1 status of our county really encompasses a lot of things under that umbrella. We're talking about economic development, we're talking about education, our school system, and also we're dealing with our homeless population, the challenge there as well. We're dealing with economic development, bringing in corporations, giving incentives, and also our military, to keep our military that are retiring, that are leaving Fort Bragg and leaving service, to keep them here because you already got trained, disciplined workers to get the job done. What my endeavor is to bring that status up to a Tier 2 status and to work on all those initiatives and even the healthcare, because that's what people, when you talk about corporations, look for when they're looking to bring large corporations with high-paying jobs and things of that nature with insurance policies, coverage and all of that into our county. And I think we have everything it takes to be one of the greatest counties here in the state of North Carolina. And I'm going to strive to work hard to work with those council members or those commissioners to make sure that we focus on working on our Tier 1 and doing all the things that we need to do as a county to serve all the people, that no citizen is left behind.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Ms. Cuffey.
So my gentlemen over here both have mentioned some of the same things that I have. If you look on the back of my card, it's already there. I already have a vision for that. And so I would say my priority is the health of our community. And when we look at the health of our community, it begins, yes, with economic development. Because when you have industry here that pays livable wages, that gives benefits, you have an opportunity to get people off of government support. And so when I say that, I don't say that with any attitude or anything. I'm saying that because the federal government right now is stripping away programs. And as they strip away programs, we as a community, as commissioners, have to determine, how do we sustain you? How do we help your families feed their children? How do we help our families pay the rent and not be on the street? And so that is one of the things that I'm looking forward to, is helping with economic development, also environmental issues that we have here in our county. Water, we have landfills that are leaking methane. I bet some of you didn't know that, but we do have that issue on the west side. And so we need to come together, work with the city and the state, and get these things taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cuffey. This next question is about accessibility and transparency, and we'll be starting with Mr. Wright. For all three of you, this would be your first time on the county commission. What steps would you take to maintain or improve communication and transparency between the commission and county residents? Mr. Wright.
Well, that's a great question. And before I answer that, I just want to thank everyone for coming out. It's you're the ones that make this thing work. So thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be here tonight. The thing that I loved the most when I was in city council in District 1, I would have a meeting, a community meeting once a month. And I held that meeting in the library out in District 1 off of Cliffdale Road. And I held it at a time where senior citizens can come out, and also people that maybe work the night shift, they can come out, and we always had a great crowd. What I would do, I would bring the staff members in different departments that had concerns, that citizens had concerns about, to answer those questions from the experts. And it turned out real well. I would bring the health department out, that turned out real well, and they were very appreciative that they would stay informed. Another way that we did was We always reminded the people to come out to the meetings, come out to the council meetings. You can also have opportunities to speak to your concerns. Also, there's the media. There is the Facebook, there is the website, and there is no reason why any citizen should not be informed if they really want to know what's going on. You just have to search, and you probably can find anything you need to know, but also to make myself accessible, that you can call my number at any time. If I don't get with you then, I will certainly follow up and get back with you. Transparency is the most important thing.
Thank you. Ms. Compton?
And that was transparency? Was that the question?
Yes, accessibility and transparency to maintain or improve communication and transparency between the commission and county residents.
I have an open door policy, simple as that. I am available to you. I work for you. You don't work for me. You don't serve me. I serve you. That's number one. Number two, as far as the transparency, I believe in open meetings, not closed door, backroom deals, open meetings, so that you know. And I just spoke to someone before about making sure the constituents understand what you're talking about on that dais. So when I'm on the dais, I want to make sure that you understand what we are discussing. So that's part of the transparency. As far as community, I have always been the one who's been out there. Some of you may know my face, may not have known my name, but I'm always out front. And so I will continue to have community conversations that I used to have, round table conversations in the past, in other positions that I held as the Human Relations Commissioner. I even served during that time that Mr. Wright was on the council, and I had community conversations around the city, not just one here and there, but around the city on some of the hard topics, such as the White House. So I will continue to do that. I will continue to show up for you. My phone number will be listed. You can call my phone number. I will get back to you. I will make sure that you are heard. And I want to make sure that you understand that I will listen with a heart, not just rhetoric. This is me. This is Sheila Cuppy. This is who I am.
Thank you, Ms. Compton. Mr. Brown?
Okay, first of all, I'm picking up my card because transparency is actually one of the things that's written on the front of my card. I think transparency is very, very important because I think it's the best way to build trust. You know, if we're doing things in the city, people should know why we're doing them. They should be, feel free to ask questions about why we're doing those things. And that goes right along with accessibility, which is one of the things that you asked about. I would be happy to give my phone number to any citizen in our community because as a public servant, we should be accessible. And I promise you, it's been my anthem in my entire life. I'm an honest person. I do what I say. Again, I'm not here to be a politician. I want to make some things better for our community. And I promise you, if you vote for me, you won't be disappointed. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're now going to do something a little bit different. Those of you who attended the municipal forum might remember this. This is to help the audience who came out tonight, the citizens of the county, to get to know you a little bit better as people. These next 6 questions will be lightning round style with answers of 1 word to 1 sentence. We'll be starting with you, Ms. Covey, and then go down the line and then back down and back and forth across the 6 questions.
I'm just going to pull
And this will
my
be
finger.
fun with the different, yeah, you might want to squeeze it together so you don't have to like press the microphone quite so much. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's get your sign in front of you. Thank you, Mr. Wright. There we go. All right. Your favorite food?
Apple pie.
All right, Mr. Wright, your favorite food?
Sweet potato pie.
Okay. Mr. Murray?
Salmon.
Sam? All right. Mr. Murray, favorite sports team?
Los Angeles Lakers.
Lakers? Mr. Wright?
Lakers.
Okay. Ms. Cuffey?
Panthers.
Ms. Cuffey, beaches or mountains?
Beaches.
Mr. Wright?
Beaches.
Mr. Murray?
Mountain. Oh, no, excuse me. Beaches.
Go-to radio or Spotify station? Mr. Murray?
Radio.
Well, what radio station?
WIDU 103.9.
Okay,
103.9 WIDU.
okay.
Series, Kurt Franklin.
Sounds good. Favorite thing to do on a night out on the town in Fayetteville besides dinner and a movie? Miss Cuffy?
That's the best part. Besides dinner in the
Or are you
morning.
gonna get dinner, I guess?
No, I guess my best thing would be, I like to go to the arts, anything that has to do with the arts.
Okay. Mr. Wright?
I love sports, so I'll be going to the baseball stadium, which was the one that we helped build.
Mr. Murray?
I like Mr. Wright. I'm a sports, I wouldn't say fanatic, but I would be attending a sports event.
And then last time you rode a train or a bus, Mr. Murray?
A train or a bus? Oh my God, it's probably been 40 years.
Okay. Mr. Wright?
I have a clarification question for
Yep.
you. What type of bus? Because there are many types of buses.
I mean,
Any
any kind of bus, but you should tell us what kind of bus.
A church bus. Yeah,
Fairly recently, I take it?
yeah. Mhm. We have 24 passengers and 8 passengers, so we do that.
Ms. Cuffy?
Does a plane count?
Not train or bus?
It's been some time. It's been some time.
Okay, sounds good. All right, that ends the lightning round. Thank you for your willingness to do that. Try not to read that. All right, this next question is about our homeless population. What is your view of the contract negotiations with Salvation Army or the agreement with MANA to manage the unhoused support center and or other things the county can be doing to address homelessness? And Ms. Cuffy will be starting with you.
My concern has been that while the current commission ended a contract back in April, White Flag began, I say December, January timeframe. There was nothing in place. Nothing in place from April to December. There was nothing in place that I know of for White Flag. And it was a scramble at the last minute to find shelter for the homeless. You had from April to November to have a plan in place. From April to November. Now, yes, now they have a contract, and I know that there were some issues with the building for Salvation Army. I understand why the contract was ended. However, there had to be a contingency in place. So if we're going to end contracts, then we need a contingency plan. What are we doing to support that? So, not that I didn't disagree, that I disagreed with them ending the contract, but at the same time, we have to know that there is a plan so that we don't have our homeless population in the cold.
Okay, as far as the homeless population, we certainly should care about those who don't have anywhere to live, and we have to make sure that we do make provisions for them when, you know, when the weather's real cold, they don't have anywhere to, to sleep or lay their head. And so I just believe, I can't say that I know a whole lot about this particular issue, other than they should be important, homeless people should be important on our agenda. And I think there's some things we can do as far as churches go. We could, when it comes to having places for them to stay or to reside in a real cold night, like we've had some recently. We could open up some of our churches that would be willing to do that. And if we had begun something for the homeless that we have, that we did not complete, again, transparency comes into play. And we should, people should understand, okay, what happened with that. So I think we need to have better planning in whatever we're doing. And we should address these issues where people understand what's going on with them and that they're in such a way that they know that they're important to us. Homeless people may be homeless, but they're still human beings.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright.
I think first of all, we have to get the right number of how many homeless people are in our county. The 2025 census, the PIT, the point in time, stated that there were 383 homeless people in Cumberland County. But when the COC, the Continuum of Care, looked at it, they said it was a vast undercount of the number of homeless individuals in the county, so there was a disagreement there on the numbers. What's important to know is that the homeless people not only are homeless, that fact of them being homeless is a bad thing, but it affects the whole county. There are thousands of people in our county that are impacted by our homeless population one way or another. So if we don't really get down to brass tacks, roll up our sleeves as a county and a city, and all the indigenous or the counties around us to work together to come up with a plan, then we're going to be in trouble, and these numbers are going to increase. First of all, we have to have transparency on what the real numbers are so we know what we have to do to tackle those numbers. Together, not only with the county or the city, but the community, the citizens of our county have to be concerned and care enough about our homeless people to make a difference. I've worked with them in the past, and I will work with the homeless in the future. You can look at my record and see what we've done.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. And you can actually hold on the microphone, so we'll be coming to you first on
No,
this next question.
I wanted to say something.
Sure, you want to rebuttal? Yeah.
Yes. So the continuum, he was talking about the continuum of care, and then the point of time count that they just did in January was pretty much the same thing. The problem is there are the invisible homeless. They're counting who's in the woods and around bridges. But there's the invisible homeless, those children who go to school and sleep in a car. There are families who are couch surfing. It may not make the federal definition, but there are homeless that are not on the street. And so we have to find ways of helping that population.
All right, this next question is about Cumberland County Schools. This is coming to you first, Mr. Wright. What is your view of the school board's recent request for $300 million to address deferred maintenance? And what steps will you take to make sure that the amount of needed maintenance never again reaches such a high level?
Absolutely. First of all, I just wanted to commend the county commissioners for fully funding the schools and the teachers' pay. I think it's very critical that we take care of our school infrastructure, and the monies that were given and requested is needed and more is needed. It's important that we make our children feel important while they're in school. The best environments that we can afford for our children to have and learn, because to learn and to get educated is to become free. Nobody can take that knowledge from you once you have it. That's one of the most important tools to really mold and make our children to be competitive on this world market. We have a long way to go, and I am really committed to see us do more and to really focus on the needs of our children in many other areas besides the infrastructure and the yards that's on the school grounds but we need to deal with our children emotionally. A lot of them are traumatized. A lot of them are, like you say, homeless, going to school, and are we dealing with that as well? So I think it's a holistic view that we need to have when it comes to our children's education.
Thank you. Ms. Cuppy?
Repeat the question, please.
Yes. What is your view of the school board's budget request for $300 million to address deferred maintenance that's accrued over the years? And what steps will you take to make sure that the amount of needed maintenance never again reaches such a high level?
So unless there's some policy that is made, that's where it begins, with policies. And so we have to make good policy. There's no need of throwing money at something and there's not a policy to make sure that the schools are being maintained. Most of the schools that are on this list are schools from the 50s and 60s where maintenance was not taken care of. And a lot of them were in Black neighborhoods. I'm just being transparent. And so those particular schools did not have the maintenance that they needed at that time. And so now they're in disarray. So for the 300 and some million that they're asking for, we'll have to look at that. We'll have to help the school board, listen to the school board, and listen to the parents. But I do know that our children deserve state-of-the-art schools, no matter what neighborhood they're in. They deserve to come up to code.
Thank you, Ms. Cuffey. Mr. Murray?
Well, first of all, I want to say that kids are our future. They are our future, and when it comes to spending for their future, for their needs, no price is too much if we can afford it when it comes to our kids. Again, they're our future, and we should definitely consider the amount of money that was requested when it comes to our schools, hoping that they've done the work to make sure that that is the right number, 300 million. I'm trusting that that is the right number, if that's what it is. Again, no amount of money is too much for our kids, and we certainly should consider whatever their needs are. Kids should be able to go to school and have a nice facility, and whatever they need there. When it comes to materials, they need those things. And so the professionals in our schools know better than we do. So again, this is where we should listen to those people who understand these things a lot better than we do. But no amount of money is too much for our kids if we can afford that, if the budget works for that.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. This next question is about data centers. There was recently a public forum about it. And Mr. Murray, we'll be starting with you. Do you support the construction of new data centers in our county? Why or why not?
Well, if the data centers is the right thing for our community, if it improves our community, I'm for it. I mean, we should, when it comes to decisions, we should ask the question, does it raise the quality of standard for the citizens? Okay? If it does, and if it's something that we can do budget-wise, then we do what we do. But again, if it makes the life of our community, the life of the people in the community better, this is something we should consider.
Thank you. Mr. Wright?
Yes, data centers are important, and I think that the only thing we need to be concerned about is transparency, and that data centers, in which the job that they do, are critical. But the community at large, when you talk about economics and jobs and things of that nature, we must be concerned about what type of industries we allow in our cities and the impact that it would have on our cities.
Ms. Cuffey?
Data centers. So these gentlemen weren't at the meeting. I was at the meeting to learn about the data centers. And so I do know that there are challenges that come with the data center. There are challenges to how much utilities will be pulled and how that would affect our cost for utilities. There are disadvantages with water from the Cape Fear. There's so many intricate things that go into making this decision. But I bet you didn't know that a data center does not need government permission to set up. It's a good thing to have. So what I would say, just like my friend Tony Stewart and I discussed, is there has to be policies that are made to govern how they work, how they come into our community. Right now, there's no policy. So the county commissioners need a policy. And so we have to look at that. And so while they may bring a job or two here, what is the long-term effect on our community? So let's look at some policies and let's continue to learn and research the things that are going on, because I want to make sure you're safe. I want to make sure we don't have extravagant high bills. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final question for this portion is on youth employment, and we will be starting with Mr. Wright. What steps would you like to see the county take to support more jobs or paid internship opportunities for our teenagers during the summer and the school year, especially those who are under the age of 18? Mr. Wright.
I think that's a great question. I remember when I was growing up, we had a program called Teen Clean, and I was in school there, and I look forward to the summer times because there were programs in place where we can go get jobs, cleaning the neighborhood, picking up trash off the streets, and working in the rec centers, and doing such things as that, and really made enough money to buy my school clothes, so mom didn't have to worry about that. The other thing is when I was on the city council, we have that type of a program with interns from the college and also from the high school level that would be hired by the city, and they would intern in different sections of the staff, and they would learn things that were critical and important in the future in which they wanted to endeavor. And some of those graduated and obtained jobs with the city because of the relationship they built through the summer with staff, and we saw the skills and the gifts that those young people have. They were phenomenal. So I think the county needs to adopt a more rigorous and busful summer program for youth and internship, and we're going to take a real hard look at that when we get there.
Thank you. Ms. Cuthbert.
When I was young, Jimmy Carter had a program every summer for the youth. And so I would like to see something similar to that, which is probably the same thing that you were talking about. It was during that era. And so I would like to see that brought back. I would like to see the county and the city, and we have these great universities here that can all partner. As I was with one nonprofit organization, I took in an intern each year to make sure that I was turning out someone into our workforce that is able to deal with work. Because these children are different. they're different. So, but I would like to bring an industry that brings in living wages. That's first. Living wages for parents. Living wages where they're not having to be dependent upon social services. And so when we teach parents how to work, their children will emulate that. And so that is what I want to do, is make sure that we can have jobs and industry here that benefit families, that benefit parents. And when children see that their parents are thriving, guess what? They're going to do the same thing. But as long as there's nothing here but a service industry that pays $10 an hour for food service, you're not going to get to tier 2. You'll continue to be a tier 1. And so we're going to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cuthbert. Mr. Murray.
That question reminds me of a youth motivation task force that I used to serve on. at Fayetteville State University. Actually, I'm a proud graduate, first of all, of Fayetteville State University. So what they would do, which I think would be something good that we could implement in our county, is they would get some of the graduates that's graduated already in their professional fields. We would come back into the schools and we would talk to the students. And we would talk to them about, the best way to pursue their degrees, their careers, and we would just offer them our experience. So I think we should partner with some of our businesses, professional people in the community, and maybe adopt some training that would inspire our kids. I think we have a lot that we could work with. Fort Bragg is another area that I think could help us address the issues with our youth. So I think we should partner with businesses, and I'm sure we have, I'm a professional myself. I'd be happy to come and go to some of the schools, talk to the kids, and when there's opportunities for them, make it available to them. So it's basically partnering with, I think businesses is a great idea, in my opinion.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for your participation this evening. Before we get into closing statements, I just want to remind everyone that in the upcoming primary for these county commission candidates, you can vote in it if you are registered in the Democratic Party or if you're registered unaffiliated. And also you are voting for two choices on the ballot. You pick two. There are lots of choices on the ballot, but you pick the two candidates that you would like to see move forward to November. With that, we will do closing statements of up to 1 minute each, and we will start with you, Mr. Murray, and then we'll go on down.
Okay, I think I had the opening statement and the last. Okay, this should be very quickly. Again, I'm not running to be a politician. I'm running to be a voice for our community. I think there's some things that we can do different and that we can do better. And again, I think I'm the type of candidate who will listen to those, to our citizens. You can count on me to do what I say. I'm open to accountability. I think we should have accountability. We should be transparent. And when we don't do what we say we should do, I think we should be dealt with about that. Looks like my time is up. Just let's go with Mo. That's my slogan. Let's go with Mo.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Mr. Wright.
Yes, I'm a servant at heart. I'm a community servant. I've been doing that all my life, and I love my community. And what I've learned since being an elected official in the 9 years, that you have to work together with people. You have to work across party lines. You have to talk to people that think differently than you do. You have to have a broader mindset of a community. And that's what we're going to work for all the people. And so with a heart to serve and caring about humanity, I think is our greatest gift that we bring to the table, with a heart to serve. And we're going to do that wholeheartedly as your next county commissioner in District 1. Vote for me, Larry Wright, a voice for the people.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Ms. Cuppy.
So I'm going to correct Dr. Rob Tabor real quick. He said you have to vote for two people. You don't have to. You can vote for one, but you can vote up to two people. One Sheila, up to two people.
Or one Wright.
Or one vote.
So I just want to say that I'm here to serve. We've all said we're here to serve. But I'm here because I have a heart for people. And every decision that I make, you'll always be at the heart of my decision. And so I just want you to know that I'm not a politician, but I've been around the game. And I have always been a part of this community, and I will continue to serve.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cuppy. And I'll spare you all the history lecture about single shot voting in North Carolina. Please join me in thanking all these candidates.
I'm going to go ahead and throw it over again to our moderator, Dr. Rob Tabor.
All right, good evening, everyone. We're about to start the at-large county commission portion of our forum. This is a primary forum tonight, but there are two gentlemen here who will be on the ballot in November, and so I'm going to give each of them 1 minute to introduce themselves before we get to the forum. And Mr. Ross, we will start with you.
My name is Ron Ross. I'm from Cumberland County. I lived in Cumberland County all my life. I worked for the Boys and Girls Club from 1968 to 2024. For 56 years I've worked with youth. And if you let me to office, I'll promise you this. I'll be transparent. I'll have make sure with financial responsibility. I won't waste your money. And if you ever have a question, call me. But here's a key factor here. It's your money we're spending. Whenever we spend something, it's your money. If we waste $1, you should be held accountable for wasting your money. So any project we start, if it's not finished, you should say, hey, I'm not voting for you next time. But I'm Ron Ross. I'll be in a general election with Greg West. He's around here somewhere. He's right here. And I want to say, vote for the person, whoever it is, Democrat or Republican, vote for the person that you believe will do the best job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Ryan.
Thank you. I won't take much time. I'll be on the ballot in the fall, but I'm Greg West. I've had the honor of serving you on the Cumberland County Board of Education for 24 years, 6 terms. I've won county-wide, serving the whole county. And I just want to move. My kids have all graduated now, and I became a grandparent on Monday for the first time. Thank you. Thank you. So, little boy, I just got back from visiting him today. But anyway, I look forward to, I know the school system inside and out, and that's half the county's budget, and it's one of the most important functions of government. And so I understand that, and I just want to move over to county commissioner and serve in a greater role. So I appreciate the opportunity. I look forward to meeting all of you on the campaign trail. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if we have any candidates for office who we did not recognize at the start of the forum, you may now stand and be recognized. So if you are running for state senate, this is Mr. Paul Taylor.
How y'all doing? Paul Taylor.
Any other candidates? That's it? That's it. Everyone else is recognized. All right, candidates, we're going to get started with the primary forum for county commission at large. And so we're going to start. You'll each have a 2-minute opening statement, up to 2 minutes. You don't have to take the full 2 minutes. I will ask you questions. You all get the same questions. We will change up the order in which you answer them. You'll all have 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes to answer the questions. You all get 3 rebuttals of at least 1 minute, up to 1 minute each. We can use during the forum. And so with that, we will start with the opening statements. And Mr. Faircloth, go ahead and take up to 2 minutes to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Marshall Faircloth. I'm a lifelong resident of Cumberland County. Grew up here, went to county schools, went to a public school in Chapel Hill called, I can't remember the name of it anyway, some of y'all know, but, well, Pine Forest High School. And 8 years at Spring Lake Elementary, okay? I'm old enough that there were no kindergartens back in Cumberland County schools back then, so we went 8 years to one elementary school, and that's not done anymore that I know of. But I'm married to Carol, and we have together 4 children and 4 grandchildren, and at least everyone except my youngest son lives in Cumberland County, and so I'm looking forward to the future that we have here. I'm looking forward to many, many great things that we have started now as county commissioners. One of the projects you may have heard of is the medical school that Cape Fear Valley is starting. As a trustee, I have been intimately involved in that. I was the chairman of the education committee that helped bring that school here. And now we are lucky to have Methodist University as a partner, and together they and the medical people that we have been able to attract, and they're top notch, will be opening that school in either late June or early July, I'm not sure which it is. But I have served 5 terms as your county commissioner, and I asked for another shot at it, and thank you. My 30 seconds are up.
All right, thank you. Mr. Benavente.
Thank you, Dr. Tabor. My name is Mario Benavente, and I'm a candidate for County Commission at Large. So I want to begin by thanking each and every one of you for coming out tonight, because as you can imagine, not everyone is tuned in as the folks in this room about how important local elections are, and it's so very important that everyone here gets great information, takes it out to their neighbors, takes it out to their communities, and makes sure that we're finally getting our voice heard when it comes to these very important issues here locally. I served as a city councilman for 4 years, representing the area around E.E. Smith High School. That's where I went to high school in the class of 08. I serve on the Alumni Association as a parliamentarian, and I've got major concerns with a lot of the news coming out of our Cumberland County School Board. And matter of fact, I just left a church off of Cliffdale Road before I came to this occasion, where many parents are also concerned about the end of year-round schools in Cumberland County, about not being heard by this school board, about not having a voice when it comes to such pertinent issues as where the next E.E. Smith High School might go. These are the issues that I want to be able to fight for you on, just like I do every single day in Cumberland County Courthouse. I'm an attorney. I work mostly in our juvenile courts with our most at-risk teens, at-risk youth. I work in our DSS courts, the Department of Social Services, where our families who are struggling the most need more support. When they're being told by a judge, get this program done, get this mental health evaluation done. And as much as our staff in our county are trying to support them, it's a bottleneck process. There's not enough money and funding to address these issues. And when we don't address these issues upstream, they become public safety issues downstream. Beyond that, just getting into the courthouse has become an issue. After this previous board blundered almost $40 million on what should have been a performing arts center in our downtown to bring more folks to Cumberland County. And I submitted a public records request asking where exactly did that money go? Because there have been claims made that they've been selling off the steel for pennies on the dollar. Well, I want to know to who. And it's been months now, and the Cumberland County government has yet to respond back.
Thank you, Mr.
Those are the
President.
kinds of issues as your next county commissioner I'll get to the bottom of. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jones.
Yes, good afternoon. I currently serve as the Vice Chairwoman, County Commissioner at Large, and I'm here today to talk about facts and results. Now, you've heard some things that aren't exactly facts. You will hear me look down on my notes because we need to make sure that we have resources here in Cumberland County, and many times what people don't understand is what you don't know you might think that we don't have, but we do. Certainly we have challenges as any other community has, but I'm here to tell you, I was voted in 2022. We have an active board. I can only speak on what this leadership has done, and that is fully fund the school system for the first time in 20 years. We've also started in regards to the wells out in Graves Creek. Again, I can't speak on any other leadership, but I promise you tonight that I will be about facts as I already am results. I'm the second woman only to be elected. Mary McAllister was the first woman to be elected at large. 42 years later, I was elected. I am running for re-election. Something about my background, I'm a military brat, proud of it. My father served as an officer. My mother served on the other side for civil service, so I know all about service. I'm a public servant. It all started with a brownie and a cookie. Girl Scouts, I'm a Girl Scout for life, so that is lifestyle for me. Also, my background in mental health. I used to work for Cumberland County Mental Health as a mental health educator. I serve on the board as appointed for social services. I serve on the board, speaking of youth, for Juveniles Assessment Center and that of the Juvenile Crime Prevention. But I also served on these boards well before. I think you need to get involved. It's not about the title. Everybody can serve. As Martin Luther King said, we can all be great. We can all serve. We all have purpose. So I was serving well before I got this title as Vice Chairwoman, County Commissioner at Large. I'm well known out in the community. That is why I had the highest votes in 2022. The works of results, we can't just be about talk. So I am asking to be reelected. And for more information, since I see my 30 seconds, what I don't get to say here tonight, you can go to www.veronicajonsnc.com and see in depth all of that of what I'm about. Thank you.
Thank you. This first question is about your priorities. County commissioners have to juggle several different demands and constituencies. This is even more true while serving an at-large position, as you're seeking to do, or seeking to continue to do. If you're elected, what is one specific project or policy area that would be your priority and why? And Mr. Benavente, we'll start with you.
I wear this moniker proudly as a E.E. Smith Golden Bull. Our 100th year anniversary is coming up in 2027. We've been promised for decades that we're getting a new building. I want to make sure that we break ground for a new building for E.E. Smith if I'm elected to be your county commissioner at large. Beyond that, I've made communications with other leaders in other municipalities around Cumberland County, and they've talked about their needs in Spring Lake. They've talked about their needs in Hope Mills and what's missing. We need buses out in Hope Mills. Spring Lake is saying that they don't have enough of a voice when it comes to Parks and Rec, and they have $80 million in water infrastructure that is still outstanding. It's high time that you have an elected official who has a history of getting work done, even in a short amount of time. Folks have been on this board many, many terms and can't point to much that they've accomplished. In just 2 terms on City Council, we developed an Office of Community Safety that never previously existed on that organizational chart. So when you call 911, an alternate response is on its way to address issues of mental health, addiction, and poverty. Those are the kinds of results that we need on the county level, and we can't simply hide in the background as county commissioners while the general population assumes everything is the city's fault or everything is the city's problem. It's time that the county commissioners step up, take center stage, and take responsibility for issues of community health, issues of public safety, just as much as the city is expected to. So as your next county commissioner, you can rest assured that you're going to have a fighter who makes sure that we do more than just say the word transparency over and over again, because transparency just means go on the website and try and figure it out on your own. Look for that, sort of needle in a haystack. We have to be apparent with the people. We have to meet people where they're at. We can't just wait for them to say the magic words or ask the perfectly correct way of asking the question. We've got to meet people where they're at. We should not be telling people to go submit a public records request to get basic information. Folks know that over 4 years, I was the first one to respond to folks, get out to the people in the community. You can expect a county commissioner in every single community watch in this city like I did when I was a city councilman. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jones.
Thank you so much. We have many things that are priority. Like I said, I'm here to talk about the facts. I'm not here to talk about what I can do. I'm here to, or should do, would do. I'm here to talk about what we already have done. Education, no doubt, is at the top of the list. So let me be really clear, and yes, I'll look at my notes, because I like facts, not fiction. As the vice chairwoman and the rest of this board, $103.7 million for the Cumberland County school systems. Again, you have to ask whoever else that was here before me. I've been here 4 years. I don't know why they didn't do it before, but it's been done now. 14% increase for teacher supplements, fact check. Also support staff pay increases, school nurses, school resource officers, closing guards. That was $300 million committed to addressing, because I wanted to check, say this because they got it incorrect. The last individuals that were speaking earlier, it was actually $680 million maintenance package for that. So again, this is what this board has done. I can't speak about anyone else. And the perspective behind that, the entire state received 100 million years in lottery funds for school construction across 100 counties and single county commitment. So education is number one of what I'm concerned about. And as we continue to keep speaking about our youth, again, facts. Juvenile Assessment Center, I worked there for years, and now I serve as the appointment on the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. That is a prevention board. It's important to know what we already have, because I think that's why people think we're not doing anything when we are. Matter of fact, I made sure that we had a leadership conference for the first time, and we had many people in here that went, over 165 people. We worked a lot with our judges for the first time this year to ensure that we understood what they wanted in their budget. And I cannot forget to say, nonprofits, boots on ground, I created the Community Impact Grant that was also supported by the rest of the board. We can't always depend on fundings from the that to come down from the state and the federal. So when those fundings were gone for our nonprofits, I made sure that we created one that was even better. And 68 individuals, nonprofits, were able to get fundings from $10,000 to $50,000. That's what we've done on this board.
Mr. Faircloth.
Thank you. My priority will once again be education. I'm a former school board member, and in the many years since I've been there, I've watched a lot of things come and go. But this year, in fact, we were able to get enough money to fully fund the education budget. We will try to do that again in the ensuing year. And those supplements came up because we were a large county, and we did not get in on the state funding that was given to the smaller counties around us. So they were creeping up on us, and were able to poach teachers away from Cumberland County. We took care of that this year. We made sure that we are now the top payor in the region. Another priority, though, is to keep your taxes low. You remember that the state demands that we revalue property every 8 years. Well, that was last year. And property values went up in Cumberland County. That's nothing anybody had any control over, but what the Board of Commissioners did this particular year was to reduce your tax rate from 79.9 cents down to 49.9 cents. That's a 30-cent decrease. In my adult lifetime, I've not seen a tax rate under 50 cents. So that is one of the contributions that we made, and we look forward to holding the tax rate low and trying to lower it again in the future if we can.
Thank you, Mr. Faircloth. This next question, which we'll be starting with Ms. Jones, is about community concerns regarding federal immigration enforcement. Do you support or oppose the county entering into a 287G agreement? And how will you work with our local law enforcement and other county entities to make sure that any ICE or Customs and Border Patrol enforcement actions that would happen or could happen in our county happen within the bounds established by the Bill of Rights and do not physically endanger our residents? Ms. Jones.
Yes, well, first of all, I think it's very important that we make sure to stay educated and knowledgeable. So number one, we work very closely with our Sheriff Department, which is at this time Sheriff Morgan. We also work very closely with our judges to make sure that we are receiving information, serving on the Social Service Board and serving on the Public Health Board. There's always meetings we have once a month that gives us information. I think that we have to be very cautious though and careful, because we have to make sure when it comes to policies and procedures that we don't do things that's not in alignment. We are the largest installation military base. We do have a very great partnership with our military base. So I guess I would say, for me, to be honest with you, making sure we stay knowledgeable and educating on these things. Also making sure that we are working collaboratively with our state legislators, because everybody of government, meaning your local legislators, meaning your state legislators, and that of no doubt the military, of which we have to be very concerned about that we stay in our lane. And what I mean by that is information, making sure we're talking to our partners, and making sure that of what we can do, being alarmed, because ICE, that's another thing about facts and fiction. ICE has not been here yet. That is not, although we're having protests and a lot of people want to do prevention, trying to address things before they're actually here is good. We're all about prevention, but that's why education is important. And let me be very clear, understanding the body of government, just like the city council has their area, we continue to talk about the school board, which you elected them. The whole point of being a commissioner is that we make state policies regarding human health services. So again, I would say education, collaboration with our partners, and making sure that we keep our community informed. And also, we do take an oath. Let me be very clear on this. The same way the United States government takes an oath, we take an oath. So I know if individuals want to be out here protesting and doing this and that, that's their prerogative. But I take the oath that I take seriously, just as those in the United States Army. Thank you.
Mr. Faircloth.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. The next question, this question is about federal immigration enforcement and community concerns about it. Do you support or oppose the county entering into a 287G agreement with ICE? And how will you work with our local law enforcement and other county entities to make sure that any ICE or Customs and Border Patrol enforcement actions that could occur in our county happen within the bounds established by the Bill of Rights and do not physically endanger our residents?
Okay, first of all, the county commissioner board has no control over the sheriff other than his budget. He is in fact a constitutional officer, and he is in charge of law enforcement in Cumberland County outside of the municipal boundaries. So my hope is that the sheriff will follow the law, he will follow the Constitution, and that he will obey the law, and that we can get cooperation with ICE, and that we ensure that an orderly, safe environment is maintained, and that if people are lawfully protesting, that they're allowed to do as they are constitutionally allowed, and that there will not be any interference with law enforcement activity, and that our law enforcement people will protect our individuals from any harm.
Thank you, Mr. Faircloth. Mr. Benavente.
you're going to see the biggest difference between myself and these two individuals next to me on this topic. We have seen all across this country the way our constitutional protections have been trampled on by this federal government, by this president, by this administration, and there will be no world where I sit back and just shrug my shoulders and say, hopefully the sheriff does the right thing. Having the purse strings, the power of the purse strings, is actually an incredibly powerful tool. And we're certainly going to abide by the laws that exist, because as an attorney, that's a requirement of my job. I've represented folks who are undocumented, who have broken the law, who have had to not only address their issues locally, but then have had to address their issues federally. That is all within bounds. But what we've been seeing on the news, people going out into the street like Gestapo and executing warrants that they do not have the legal right to execute, to bring people out of their homes, to separate families, to create terror amongst the people, is not something that is constitutionally protected, and is not something that I will sit back, shrug my shoulders, and turn a blind eye to. And make sure you ask the Republicans this question too. Greg, I see you videoing. Make sure you send a message to all of the Republicans in this community that we're not here for the Donald Trump antics. That the county commissioners are for the first time going to stand up for the people in ways that they previously have gotten very conveniently to hide in the background and let folks point the finger at the mayor and at the city council. It's high time that the county commissioners take a step forward and exercise their authority as a governing body to protect the citizens of Cumberland County.
1 minute.
Thank you so much. What I won't do is let anyone insult our sheriff's department, because again, as I stated, we have a very competent sheriff's department. We trust and respect them, and I don't know what they're doing over at the city, but I do know that like I said again, I take my oath very seriously, and that's why we have to be very careful. And when I stood to take an oath for this body to be a vice chairwoman and commissioner at large, just as Commissioner Fairclough stated, there's guidelines, the rules and regulation. I'm not here to bully anyone. I'm not here to intimidate anyone. And as I stated, do a fact check. It's good people can protest. There has not been any ISIS. We're talking about Cumberland County here. And what I will not do, I will entrust and continue to work with our very competent sheriff's department, allow them to take the lead. We will not intimidate or threaten if we don't like the decisions they make, because we are in charge. Don't get it twisted. Jimmy Crack Cohen, I don't care. I'm gonna keep it like it is. We are in charge of their budget, but we're not here to try to control the sheriff's department. Thank you.
Mr. Benavente, you have a 1 minute rebuttal.
Thank you. I work with the sheriff's deputies every single day in Cumberland County Courthouse. I respect Sheriff Morgan, and I know that they do a good job whenever I've had to do a writ of habeas corpus to get someone out of the jail because they've held them there for too long. They've responded appropriately. So this is no disrespect to them, but it is making sure that all of government respects the people. And you can say it's not a problem until it's a problem, but I can assure you right now, you vote for who you can trust to make the right decision at the right time. And you can trust that I've stood here before you and said, should that happen here in this community, I will stand up for the people over pretending that it's someone else's problem and pointing the finger and saying, I don't know, it's not my budget, it's not my job. It is our job. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and just as a reminder to all of the candidates to make sure that you're speaking into the microphone so that everyone in the audience can hear. No problems, Mr. Benavente. Very good. This question will be coming to you first. Just letting you know that. This question, you'll all be getting it, is about the Events Center debate. What perspective and questions are you bringing to the discussion of where to locate the Events Center, what it should include, and what should be nearby to make it an attractive destination for county residents and out-of-town visitors? Mr. Benavente, you're first.
So we had a wonderful opportunity to bring an attraction to downtown Fayetteville that I know so many downtown businesses were, for lack of a better term, writing checks on, that they were anticipating. We're going to start getting hotels. We're going to start bringing some people into Cumberland County for great reasons. That all stopped in a time period where I felt like, Doge and sort of that Republican sort of antic of just cutting and canceling everything became popular. We canceled and lost $36 million on what could have been a great investment in our county. And that was a mistake. When I think about what needs to happen at this point, we have to bring something that not only draws people to this community, but addresses the parking situation. Y'all don't understand, every single morning, how many citizens are struggling to get into the Cumberland County Courthouse to do basic business, to pay their taxes, to address their legal needs, and they are parking wherever they can, because God forbid the judge sends an order for arrest out on you for being late. And they're getting outside, back to the lack of a parking lot, and they're finding their cars are towed. So the immense amount of harm that is coming from a decision that was not thought all the way through, that once again, folks are just shrugging and saying it was the past board, it's not my fault, what do you expect us to do? We expect you to get it straight, we expect to have adequate parking at our courthouse, and my God, can we bring some folks in a hotel down to our city of Fayetteville downtown? People want to have conferences and have conventions where they can actually walk around and do things. As much as we love the Crown, you can't really walk anywhere. The best you got is some fast food on Owen Drive, and God knows there's some great business on Owen Drive, but expectation of people who want to come into a community and spend good money is that they have a downtown to walk around. So we want to make sure that we check two big boxes. It's got to make folks want to come down. We don't have a lot of convention space in the city of Fayetteville. Embassy Suites might be the only real option, but even there's no walkability around that area. And of course, we need adequate parking for Cumberland County Courthouse. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pennington. Ms. Jones.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. This is about the events center debate and what perspective and questions you bring to the discussion of where to locate the event center, what it should include, what should be nearby to make it an attractive destination for county residents and out-of-town visitors.
Well, reality is the Crown Theater and Arena originally, as we know, was supposed to be downtown. I did vote for it to be downtown. As we all know, that turn of events changed because you do need 4 votes, but I continue to still vote for it to be downtown. So here are some of the facts. The strategic pitfall was this. We determined that $186 million downtown Crown for event center physically concerns and costs was the overturn by some of the new board members. So the pivot meant that modernization and regeneration of the new facility, this old facility, was what was decided. The Crown Coliseum currently has 13,000 seats. As we all know, J. Cole will be coming in September. The Expo has 60,000 square feet, and already it hosts major concerts, sporting events, conventions, trade shows, creates primary entertainment. And again, like I stated, although I wanted it to be downtown, this is definitely a team effort. One vote doesn't win. So with that being said, I'm giving you the facts on the new direction of what the board decided to do since we had a 5-2 vote. And so with that being said, I can let you know the project team who that is. It's a local firm. They do national entertainment. That's going to be the SLL group. And also we've decided to use Turner and Townsend from Raleigh, also keeping business here in North Carolina. And they were selected through an RFP project. So basically, what you can expect for the timeline is this. We expect March 26th to continue on pre-planning for the conference in April 2026 and a full architect owners. And we also have a designing budget, not to budget, to go over that budget because again, you have to decide a decision from the overall board. I didn't get my way, but you gotta be leaders to understand that it is what it is and keeping it transparent. You have to move forward. We can't waste a lot of time about, what if, coulda, shoulda, woulda. So this is where, as I'm stating to you now, where we're at with the Crown Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and stand up. The debate, as you called it.
Discussion, I should say.
Discussion, yes, absolutely, discussion. Is a twofold thing. I mean, first of all, when I came back on the Board of Commissioners after a little absence, the decision had already been made to go downtown. So I asked, well, what's the plan for parking? And a couple of times I was told, well, we got that handled. When I found out that it was going to be a parking deck in the courthouse parking lot, I decided at that point that I was now against the downtown project. Okay, so my wife and I had a nice discussion about coming out of the show at 10:30 at night and trying to navigate into a parking deck and then get out of there with 500 other cars and get home. So we made the decision, along with 4 other commissioners, that it was not going to be downtown in a crowded situation like that. The other situation was money. Okay, and it's not about the $30 or so million. That number has been trimmed down tremendously, but it was not about the millions of dollars that were sunk in the hole. It was about the almost $200 million that you would have to spend to get this thing finished the way the plan was set up. Okay. okay, the cost kept accelerating, and you had $143 million as an estimate, and that climbed to $178 million, and then they took a $36 million parking deck that climbed to 46. When you add everything up, it was over $200
Thank you,
million.
Mr. Fairclough.
And we think that about $50 million will refurbish.
Thank you. Mr. Benavente, you have a rebuttal, and then Ms. Jones.
Yep. So I sent an email to each and every county commissioner that's currently sitting, because the chairman declared that of that $36 million that was reported on, that it had somehow been saved. And I said, wow, that's such a great news article. Why hasn't anyone reported on this? Why isn't there any data or any evidence to show how much money was supposedly saved? And you heard County Commissioner Fairclough try and say the same. When I requested in any receipts, any data, any piece of evidence, the attorney said, well, you know, someone else is closing it out, we might not be able to release it to anybody. So when we talk about, you know, government transparency, government accessibility, make sure that we're asking, where's our money being spent? How is it being spent? And if you are selling our assets for pennies on the dollar, we need to know about it. We need new county commissioners here in Cumberland County.
Ms. Jones had a rebuttal first, and we'll come back to you.
It wasn't necessarily a rebuttal, but I did want everybody to know, our county manager, Mr. Greer, and our staff, we don't do this alone. They do have a plan in place. We have a plan in place of which 680 spaces for staff, judicial employees, and public for those that keep up with our meetings. Also the reserved parking for seat jurors, and we're working on that, of which we just had a meeting last week. And definitely, no doubt, additional ADA accessible spaces. We're working on that as well. These things don't happen overnight, as the former city council, as well as he knows, but this is our lane for human services. We do a little bit different here than the city. If he gets elected, he'll know that. So anyway, continuing to evaluate city-owned and private lots for additional capacity. That's the plan that we have, as well as responsible approach that avoids $33 million in parking deck. So we are working very hard, and what we do here on the county side is a lot different from the city side, and it doesn't take us years and years. As you can see, as I stated before, we've done a lot of things within the last 8 months. I've only been on the board for 4 years. I can't speak of that of what the city council does.
Mr. Fairclough.
Thank you. The plan to build parking, to build the event center in the parking lot involves some additional real estate that was purchased, and so a lot of this $36 million will in fact be recouped because there is a plan that the chairman has, and I don't have all the details of that plan, but it's forthcoming, to put some sort of event type, not event center, but some type of entertainment thing or some nice park type thing in that vicinity. And what will happen is a lot of the work that was going into that parking lot excavation will be useful in that new park because we do have some extra property there. And we will get our 200 spaces back plus a few, as far as we know.
Thank you, Mr. Fairclough. This next question is about our early colleges. Our county school system has 3 excellent early college programs. I believe it's 3. If I miscounted, let me know. But bus transportation is not currently provided to the students on CCS, teacher workdays, or holidays, even if the sponsoring college or university is still holding classes, leading to students missing up to 1/8 of the college classes for which the county, some part, is paying. Do you see this as a problem that needs to be addressed, and how would you do so? And Mr. Fairclough, we'll start with you.
Well, we keep getting asked Board of Education questions, and I appreciate that because our lives are very much intertwined. But as far as the programs that the Board of Education does, we don't try to interfere with them. We try to get them the funds they need. And if a request comes forward for bus transportation or whatever else they need, we will do our best within the constraints of our budget and what we can ask the people to allow us to do. We'll do the best to help.
Thank you. Mr. Benavente.
Again, anticipating the answers from the folks on this panel, this is going to be another huge distinguishing component of me versus anybody else. I saw when the Board of Commissioners denied E. Smith a new building in partnership with Fort Bragg. And because of that, the school board went back to the drawing board and rethought what they were going to do before they submitted a budget. So this concept that we do not have any sort of say over what the school board does or any of the many departments that we operate do is a simple lie that you're being told by politicians who want to shift the blame and shift the onus of responsibility. We 100% have a say. And if we say that we don't see enough school nurses, we don't see enough school social workers being requested, we don't see school buses sending kids to where they need to go, then we do not have to approve that budget as it sits. So let's stop pretending like we can conveniently blame it on the school board when we like something, because essentially you're tacitly saying you're fine with whatever they're saying. When you know, in fact, this county commissioners have denied budgets in the past when it did not say exactly what the majority of the board wanted.
We'll have Ms. Jones answer. You still get a 2-minute answer, and then we'll come to you, Mr. Faircloth, for a rebuttal.
My answer is this because I'm here about the facts. And as Commissioner Faircloth said, we trust the voters. Not going to insult the residents, as I'm a resident myself. Now you have 7 commissioners. Do you believe it's 8 on the school board? We're here to not bully them, harass them, or tell them how to do their job. So it's not passing the buck. Let's be real clear. You elected them, you trust them to do their job. We don't overstep, as we don't need them to overstep, just as we don't overstep the city council. With that being said, I want to also clear up the fact, this fact about we can just, have E. Smith up tomorrow, that's the case, that would have been done a long time ago. We are in charge of their budget, the same we're in charge of the sheriff's department. They are elected officials like we are, so it is a lie. And we're not going to not give the school board money when we know that we do need extra teachers, we know that we do need nurses, so we're not here to bully and intimidate people and say we're not going to fully fund you because we don't feel you have a school up yet. That's not how it works. We're here to work together with other individuals. So again, as Mr. Faircloth said, not to be redundant, you have a school board, they have meetings just like we do. We work hand in hand with them. As a matter of fact, on this board, because we understand the importance of working together, this was the first time in 15 years that we actually met with them, not just looked at information that came by and said, pass the budget. And we meet on a regular meeting. I don't know how they're doing things on the other end. I'm also the co-chair, speaking of the city council. We appreciate that we do have a Fayetteville City Council liaison committee and a county liaison committee. Just had a meeting the other day. So we are, this board, working with other bodies of government, but we're not here to overstep anyone. You have to be collaborative partners. They don't bully us, and we don't bully them. As we've heard very clear from the community, they're tired of freaking frap back and forth. They want unity. And unity means no bully tactics. Unity means having regular meetings as we do from the Fayetteville and City liaison meetings, as well as with the school board.
Mr. Faircloth, rebuttal.
I just want to clear one thing up about E.E. Smith, which is an ongoing issue in the community. We didn't vote just to deny E.E. Smith or to block E.E. Smith as a project. We voted not to have it on Fort Bragg, and a lot of thought went into that. There's a lot of controversy about where actually to put it, and we're looking at the E.E. Smith folks to kind of give us some guidance there, but they're very much divided. I'm sure Mr. Benny would agree with that. But we looked out at the Jack Britt School and what that beautiful school did, thank you for that community, and we just believe that if we could put that new school, which we're all behind, by the way, I don't know why people think we're not, but if we could put that beautiful school in a community, perhaps some nice amenities will grow up around it, and it will not have that opportunity if it goes on Fort Bragg.
Mr. Benavente and Ms. Jones.
Yeah, I just wanted to be clear. I want a groundbreaking by the 100th year anniversary. It doesn't mean a building magically appears. I just want to make sure that that was understood correctly. Moreover, the way that you negotiate to be typified as bullying or insisting is just simply an exaggeration of what actually happens every single day when you have these meetings with these different boards. You let them know, hey, my people elected me to make this get done, and I cannot vote in favor of a budget that does not include school buses for these young people to get to school. If you consider that bullying, then you literally have an elected official who will not fight for you.
Ms. Jones.
We are a tier 1 community, and as an African American woman, and I know how we're suffering in the minorities, no one has to tell me how to be black in the black community, although I love all people, let me be real clear. I am not going to ever defund, as they would use the word anytime it comes to social justice. There is no way, because I'm going to be responsible, that I would ever have the money on the table because it should have been fully funded a long time ago. So I'm not using the tactic of you don't get to be fully funded because X, Y, and Z. This is a tier one county. Let's be real clear. So I'm going to fully fund any opportunity I can because we're already behind. So let's don't pretend that we're not. And when it comes to black and brown people, they're the ones suffering the most because we're going to keep it real transparent. And the reason it wasn't, as Mr. Faircloth said, on Fort Bragg, we do want the same opportunity. We put $150 million, want to be clear on that too, that's still set aside for E.E. Smith. And we want the opportunity for wherever E.E. Smith goes in the same place or different to have the opportunities Jack Britton everywhere else for growth. And if it's on Fort Bragg, I love Fort Bragg, then you don't have growth for school in the area where we need it most.
All right. Candace, this is going to be something a little bit different, where for this question, I'm going to allow you to answer one question that I asked the participants in the District 1 forum. And I'm happy to repeat the question if you did not hear it. It's also been some time since I asked it. I will provide the topics, so you just ask me the topic, and I will ask you the question. So, we'll be starting with you, Ms. Jones, but the topics, so you can all hear them, were transparency, homelessness, school maintenance, youth employment, and data centers. Ms. Jones, is there a particular question in there that you would like?
I would like the one for homeless, and if you don't mind, can we just call that unhoused? I think that's a more appropriate word.
That's
is
fine.
Unhoused. Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, so Ms. Jones, this next question is about our unhoused population.
Thank you.
What is your view of the contract negotiations with Salvation Army or the agreement with MANA to manage the Unhoused Support Center and or other things the county can be doing to help and support the unhoused population in our county?
Well, first of all, I think that we're on the right track. That's definitely a national crisis when it comes to unhoused. And I want to get some of the facts straight. When it comes to the Salvation Army, this board is the first board. People just assume that the county had a contract with Salvation Army. That's just not true. And that's how they, first of all, went on in the first place. But we're all about safety. So back in September of last year when they asked us for money, I took the initiative on that. And when it was about to close down, the reason they were about to close down is because they didn't have any support from the city or the county. So we put some preliminaries in place because no doubt we have to have safety. And working with the unhoused community myself, I had heard from individuals that say there that there was some unsafety. So the reason why the first contract could not go through is because safety issues. But then later, we were ready to put $500,000 on the table. Let's write a contract. We made it very clear to Salvation Army. We have to go in, no doubt, make sure that we make sure everything's okay. And when it was not and they could not produce, that is what happened. But good news is they were able to be under new management, get their finances in order. So then that is when we were able to get a new contract. So I state that to say I'm very happy with what we've done. Pathways to Hope Shelter closed April 15, 2025 because of deficiency. The board voted 4-2 on May 19th to we need new negotiations for an MOU that went through. Also, someone had stated something, I guess, factual information. We have always had white shelters. There's a difference in unhoused shelters, which we're working on now, and white shelters. So that information earlier was incorrect. We have a very sufficient emergency shelter team. It's just not true. We always have meetings to make sure we're in line. We have contracts with Cornerstone. We also had other additional contracts, and then we were looking to expand more. So this theory of that when a situation happens, matter of fact, people always say people aren't around. Well, I went to the shelter. We had so many shelters open. Nobody was in any of them but the Salvation Army.
Thank you.
So we're always fully
Mr.
prepared.
Faircloth, which question would you like?
I'm sorry, which question? Was that
Which
me?
question would you like? Yeah, I'll give you the topics again.
Data centers?
Data centers? Okay. So, there was a recent public forum about data centers in our community. Do you support the construction of new data centers in our county? Why or why not?
At this point, I do not support them. They are too energy inefficient. They use a lot of water, and they make a lot of noise. So in their current iteration, I do not support them. I will not vote for incentives for one. Now, if one of the big dogs, okay, and I'm talking Apple, Microsoft, Meta, somebody like that comes and wants to spend $10 billion in our county, I'll have to look at it, okay? I'll have to look at that and see if we can possibly do that, because that will add 25 to 30% to our tax base. So we would be, as a certified public accountant, which I forgot to mention, I would be remiss if I didn't at least look at that opportunity. So no incentives for data centers. If they can find a piece of land and a willing landowner, or if there's zone property and all that, we can't stop it. They can come in just like any other business. But for us to give your tax money to them to do that, I will not vote for it. And that's the decision that I made a long time ago.
Thank you, Mr. Faircloth. Mr. Benavente, which question would you like?
I want to give the people some variety, so what's left?
All right, so the ones we have not done recently are transparency, school maintenance, which we've talked about a lot, youth employment. You want to do youth employment?
Sure.
Okay. So, what steps would you like to see the county take to support more job or paid internship opportunities for our teenagers during the summer and the school year, especially those who are under the age of 18?
So I stated before, I'm a criminal defense attorney here in Cumberland County, and a lot of my practice is actually in juvenile court. And I've got to tell you, and this shouldn't come as a shock to anybody, these young people who get involved in the criminal justice system, they're not evil kids. They're not trying to do evil for the sake of evil. They are young people who don't have a lot of structure, that don't have access to basic, I'm talking about low level basic amenities for themselves, to be able to buy something at McDonald's with their friends when they go out, to get a new pair of shoes once in a while, to just very basic access to things is what drives oftentimes them associating with folks who can say, hey, if you engage with me in this antisocial behavior and this illegal activity, you'll get some money out of it. So the idea that the county can have a role in supporting those most at-risk youth with an opportunity that affords them a chance to have just a little bit of money in their pocket, because they're probably coming from a family that may not be able to afford a regular allowance for them. It is going to have such a massive impact on public safety all around this county that I want to get potentially pretty radical about this. Instead of having a huge governmental program to make it difficult for folks who can't afford to participate, I would be open to direct payments. I'm talking about an opportunity for grants and opportunities for funding for those who qualify. If you're a young person who needs structure and an opportunity, let's get you that structure and opportunity. Let's get you a few dollars in your pocket. Let's make sure it's a paid opportunity, not just something where you get some work experience and hopefully you'll get a job out of it maybe a few years down the line. This is something that we need to address, and we've got, if you think about the cost of someone breaking the law, hurting somebody else, going and getting a lawyer, all the judge's time and all the time that they have to go in juvenile detention, all of that is 10 times more money than if we were to create a program for young people to have regular work over the summer. So even if it sounds scary and there's some sticker shock from my future county commissioner colleagues about how many hundreds of thousands or potentially millions of dollars it'll be, it's 10 times less expensive than the way we're currently doing things.
Thank you, Mr. Benavente. All right, before we move to closing statements, I do want to recognize Mr. William Wesley, who I understand is in the audience somewhere. If you want to stand and wave so folks can come talk.
Here I am.
All right, there you are.
Hello, everybody. William Toon Wesley, wonderful community.
Thank you, Mr. Wesley.
Commissioner at large. So
Thank
please
you.
consider voting for me. I'll be glad to take any questions after this forum is over.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And then I do want to, for those who came in halfway through, there were various people who did respond to the invitation but had to excuse themselves. Dr. Tony Stewart had a death in the family. Mr. Glenn Adams had a prior conflict. Terry Thomas had a campaign event, and Charles Evans, originally arson PDS, but had a family member with an illness and so was suddenly unable to come tonight. But so with that, we will move to our closing statements, each candidate. We have time for each of you to have a 2-minute closing statement. Mr. Faircloth, you are first.
Thank you, and thanks to all of you for coming out tonight. I've been to a lot of things like this, and usually it's just candidates talking to candidates and you know, calling each other liar and all that kind of stuff. But it's great to see a lot of good people out here that are really interested in this community. I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of Cumberland County, the future of Cape Fear Valley Hospital, and the future of the medical school. And I just want to have another part and for another 4 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Benavente.
Y'all know that I'm a zealous advocate for any issue that I fight for. I first got involved in politics when we stood alongside my brothers and sisters fighting for equal justice here in Cumberland County, here in the city of Fayetteville, and that's why I first ran, and I'll continue to serve in that capacity as a county commissioner. I really respect the financial background that I know that Mr. Marshall Faircloth has brought to the board. Myself and Ms. Veronica Jones have known each other both well before we were ever in an elected capacity, sitting with her mother, and her sister at those city council meetings. I've got fond memories with both of these individuals. I just ask that there's an opportunity for us to bring a new spotlight to what the county commissioners can do for this community. As a city councilman, you know that I was able to get things done in just 4 short years that folks said could never happen. I can do the same thing as a county commissioner, and I want to do so much more for us when it comes to making sure that inside and outside of that courthouse, we're getting the right investments, that our Cumberland County schools are truly serving our most important students and the ones who are always receiving the least all around this county, that we save our year-round schools, that we also make sure that the different municipalities around this county are getting the funding that they need. That's what you can expect as me, Mario Benavente, your next county commissioner. Remember, you can vote for 2 in that particular race. So if you like me, if you like someone else, hopefully I'm your number 1, but hopefully I can at least be your number 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jones.
Thank you so much. When I ran for office, it was all about bringing advocacy to policy, and I'm still standing by that. I think it's important that all voices are heard at the table. The reason why I would like to continue moving on is because our ongoing initiatives, engaging the school board, teacher supplement pay policy and fundings, collaborating on comprehensive infrastructure, clear timelines we've strengthened our partnership with children for special needs all the way up to pre-K. We also have made sure that the 5th consecutive Purple Star Award for military family practices has been in place. So I want to make sure we continue with that work. We also developed a lot of new partnerships since December of 2025. Salvation Army now under new management. First time ever has the county ever had any contract with them. And also the board unanimously approved partnership up to $1 million for that. 67 year-round emergency shelter beds, 50 additional white flag beds extreme for the cold weather. And we also made sure that the shelter of 245 on Alexandria Street was open with fundings from us. Not only that, we want to make sure that actively the white flag since January through February 2026, we want to make sure that the unhoused are housed. But more importantly, we can't do this alone. So we have made sure to keep in touch with, not just keep in touch, and I'm talking about action. We made sure to have regular meetings with those at the top of the level, even the regular city council members, not just in Fayetteville, but with Hope Mills, with Wade, with Linden, and that's important to know. Even though the mayors have the mayor's coalition, Chairman Devier and myself in the leadership as the vice chair, we decided that it's important for us to also meet with those leaders in Spring Lake on a regular basis, in Wade and Linden, because the rural areas count too. So I am asking for re-election because I understand the importance that Cumberland County is growing. Do we have challenges? No doubt. But I promise you, facts over fiction if you look into things. And I'm glad that he mentioned about the youth. Please make sure if you have any youth and children, got to get this plug in. We do have a program through the county.
That's time.
For youth.
I do want to remind everyone that the early voting is going on right now. The primary is March 3rd. You can vote for up to 2 candidates in the Democratic primary for County Commission at large. You have to be a registered Democrat or registered unaffiliated to vote in that primary. All of the people you see up here at the table will be on that ballot. Again, that early voting is going on right now. But please join me in thanking these candidates for their attendance and engagement and answering.
You got this one.
All right. Thank you so much to everybody who came out tonight. Again, if you need to check your voter registration, if you want to learn more about what's on your ballot, please scan the QR codes over here. We did live stream this to Common Cause's Facebook and YouTube page. If you would like to share it with your